y'all. You want to hear a story? It's a bit of a local legend. Back in the 19th century, there was a wealthy businessman. He owned a lot of land. His name was James Hatcher. He was a respected man. Only had a couple failed business ventures under his belt by the time he opened up his own coal company. When he was about 30, he married a pretty young thing. Her name was Octavia, and she was from a prominent family over in the big city of Pikeville. Seemed like they had everything. Wealth, land, love, and eventually she became pregnant with their first child, a boy. Tragically, though, their son Jacob did not live past a few days old. Drowning in grief, Octavia fell into a deep depression and became very ill. During her illness, she fell into a coma. Strange for somebody so young. And she didn't wake up. It seemed like she had followed her baby into the grave. It was a particularly hot time, so they rushed to bury her, which is not the norm here. We still have weeks. But to avoid the body decomposing too quickly, they went ahead and buried her near her baby. Not terribly long after her burial, Mr. James Hatcher learns that there are other people around Pikeville who are swooning. They're falling ill and going unconscious. And the doctors have determined that it's a form of encephalitis, which was putting them into these comas. They weren't dying. Mr. Hatcher must have felt his stomach turn into a pit because he knew. He rushed to have the body of his young wife exhumed. And to his horror, when they opened her casket, they found her face contorted, her fingers bloodied, and her body twisted around. Octavia Hatcher had indeed been buried alive. This haunted Mr. Hatcher. He never remarried. He lived 50 more long years. And when he passed, he made sure there was a string wrapped around his finger and attached to a bell on the surface. Before he passed, though, he had a statue of Octavia erected in the cemetery. Now, some say on Halloween night, her statue turns on her pedestal, putting her back towards the people of Pikeville for burying her alive. Others say you can hear scratching and clawing in the cemetery at night, wailing and crying. Many legends have been birthed out of the tragic story of Octavia Hatcher. But one thing everyone can agree on is that her spirit remains unsettled to this day.